Yeah, I know, another day, another video. Well, it's given me something to do. Anyway, after 2 days of putting this off, I finally had to get stuck in and try and make the letters for the Weathervane. So I've nearly done it. I'll show you a little bit, if I can, of how I'm having to do it, because I ain't got plasma cutter, you see, which would make it easier, but this will work and it's something to do, isn't it? So what I'm doing, I'm just drilling lots of small holes around these letters I've drawn. Now, they're not going to be perfect by any means, they're really not. The only good thing is I'm doing it out of aluminium this time, and it's a lot easier to drill than that steel that I did the one for my sister on. A lot easier and a lot quicker. So, you know, I'm finally getting on with it. I've just got to. Once I get this bit done, I think I'm going to enjoy the next bit, you know. Cutting the shape out and drawing the shape and welding the bits together and all the rest of it, you know. I'm rather looking forward to that, but I just wasn't looking forward to this job, having done it once. Although, as I say, it is in aluminium, as you can see, obviously, it's a lot quicker. Oh. So what else have I been? Well, not a lot really. Got to pass the time somehow, haven't you? And the drawing on it is just rough. Right. Worst thing about this job is before, when I finish this last couple of holes, I'll just show you something. I've absolutely no easy way of doing this. So, just do the best. And what it is, using one of those, you just have to try and join the dots up. Doesn't go very well, but it does. Like that, see? Now obviously there's a lot of it I can't get to, so I'm simply going to have to grind that off with the big angle grinder. The little one won't do it. And then we'll just have to manage, so if I can grind that one from there, don't matter about putting into this, you see, do that and that. You can't do, well, I can get a little bit of that maybe, because I mustn't touch this or that, obviously. So we just have to struggle on, don't we? Anyway, we've got all these done, as you can see now. All these, this is how I have to do it. So we've got all the letters done, and you will notice, because I'm doing it on the back side, I've remembered to do them in reverse, which I think was quite clever of me, because I could have easily forgotten that. So I think they're going to be near enough, you'll be able to tell what they are. So the next job is to join the holes up. Anyway, it's time for a rest. My back aches a bit. Been stood up for a while, come down, had a rest. You know, so it's got to be story time, hasn't it? It's a blooming short one today. Anyway, we were talking about girls and girlfriends, and it just reminded me of a story. Now, I had two friends that we used to go around with all the time. One was quite chubby, so his nickname was Billy Bunt. And one night, I can't just remember, anyway, I had a minivan. But we weren't in his minivan this night. Oh no, it's another night. Remembered, it's another night. Right, so I was in my other friend's car, and I got a girlfriend, which, as I said, is very unusual. What it was, she'd had a boyfriend called Malcolm, and that's why she liked me. So she was with him in the back of my mate's car, but she wanted to go with me because my name was Malcolm, that's all. So, I made a silly comment, which I lived to regret for a long while. Anyway, so I jumped over in the back seat and we had just a kiss and cuddle, that was all. But she lived at Grimsby and we were at Mablethorpe and I lived at Ulsby. Now, as I've said, Grimsby's 28 miles away and Mablethorpe is 10 miles from Ulsby. Well, it's 12 mile by road. So anyway, they'd given me a lift this night, so I must have been in the back of his minivan. No, I was in the car. I was in Reggie's car, right? My other mate. So I'm in the front and he's in the back with this girl, but she wanted to go with me. And so I jumped over in the back seat. Well, that was fine, but Bump didn't like it. And so, I think it was the next weekend, I'm not sure, and it was winter time. Anyway, I think it was the next weekend, she wanted to lift home because she used to come to Mablethorpe Eagle Hotel discotheque where we all went, and they came from all over Lincolnshire, you know. And so anyway, he wouldn't take me with her. He had to take her on his own. But she didn't want to go on her own, she wanted to go with me. So I said, I'll take her then. Well, at that point, I didn't have a car, did I? I had my aerial leader motorbike. And she only had a light raincoat on. So, we didn't need a crash helmet in those days, but the road was white rime. It was blooming icy and cold. So I took her home to Grimsby, which, as I say, is 28 miles from Ulsby. On this really frosty night, I had to be ever so careful, obviously, because she'd no helmet on and I couldn't fall off, you know. So I had to be ever so careful. Well, I made it, actually. I made it there and back without. In fact, I never actually crashed on ice and snow. And as I said, in the past, I had to ride it for 3 winters, you know. So I suppose, again, that's part of my education of driving. Anyway, I think I only saw her twice, I'm not sure. But anyway, this night, as I say, I had to take her home on my bike because he wouldn't take us both home. And it caused a little bit of ill feelings on someone's part, let's say. But it's just another tale I've remembered to tell you from many years ago. There's quite a few more, you know. But that's where we went for a long while. A long while. In fact, at the end, I can remember this bit. There wasn't many people going there and it was about to close. It was pretty scarce. Anyway, I went down one night on my own, of course, and I looked round and not girlfriends, but there wasn't many there. There was, I don't know, half a dozen, 10, something like that. But I'd actually taken every one of them home. So I thought, oh, it's time not to go anymore. And so that's what happened. We didn't go there anymore after that. It sort of died a death. And then, just to finish the story, there was a very clever lad, very clever, good friend as well, and he'd actually been to Eton and Oxford College. He really had. Anyway, it was winter time and he wanted a winter job, and he came and got a job as a barman at the local pub we were going to, which is at a place called Burley Marsh, because when the Eagle closed down, everyone sort of moved to this pub. So anyway, there we were at this pub, right, and I can't remember his name of all things. Anyway, what happened was, his mother, they were quite rich actually, and his mother had the franchise for taking the donkeys on the beach, you know, for donkey rides at Mablethorpe. So what he did, that was his summer job, you know. And what's an Oxford Don doing, leading donkeys up and down? Well, it was a good job. It paid him a wage, and he was out in the fresh air, and it was a very enjoyable job. Anyway, in the winter time he needed some money, you see, so he took a job as barman. Well, he'd actually worked for a while for the BBC on Top of the Pops. I'm sure you might know that show from many years ago. It was how we all listened to music. Anyway, through his musical knowledge on there, what he did, he chose the records on the jukebox, and they weren't just the, you know, the top hit records, the top 20 as we used to call it. And that's why he turned that pub around, and people were coming from 20 miles away on a Wednesday night just for a little while. So that's quite a feather, isn't it? Hey, he did a good job there. But that's just, as I say, just another tale what I've just remembered. Only just remembered this a few seconds ago. So I've been struggling on with my letters, as you can see. I'll keep struggling on with them. I'll get them done. And then that's the hard bit done, you know, because the rest of it should be fairly easy. And I'll try and show you cutting the tractor shape out, you know, the top bit with the tractor and smoke. I'll try and show you some of that, but it's got to be a nicer day than today, because it's still pretty cold out and it's been just drizzling a little bit, so we have to wait for the weather on that one. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it as ever, and we're trying to keep you entertained, but I'm keeping myself entertained. That's the main thing, isn't it? So we'll see what we can produce in a few days' time. Have fun everyone, stay safe.